Welcome to County Report this week. I'm Lorna Virgilí. Thank you for joining us. The Montgomery County Council has taken unprecedented steps and recently passed a measure to raise the county's minimum wage by 59% over a 4-year period. The bill has officially been signed into law by County Executive Ike Leggett, and as Susan Kennedy reports, this action puts Montgomery County ahead in a national movement to address growing wage inequality. Susan?
Lorna, this minimum wage bill signed by the executive will put more money in the pockets of hundreds of thousands of Montgomery County working families. The new law will raise the minimum wage to $11.50 per hour by the year 2017. The measure was overwhelmingly approved by the council and signed into law by the county executive without a hitch. Councilmember Mark Elrich led the charge to raise the minimum wage. He says he believes this is the most effective piece of legislation passed by the council during his tenure.
It's really good. I mean, we do a lot of legislation, and I can't think of anything we've done that will affect people's lives as profoundly for like years to come as this legislation. And I don't think, in public service, being able to make a difference in people's lives is the definition of public service.
For those workers who are supporting themselves or their families on a thin financial margin, an increase in the minimum wage will provide them with additional money, much of which probably will be spent right here in our local economy here in Montgomery County.
The bill was co-sponsored by Councilmembers Valerie Ervin and Nancy Navarro. This historic vote is designed to balance the needs of county workers and businesses that are still recovering from the national recession. Prince George's County has since passed a similar measure, and the District of Columbia is poised to do the same. Elrich says that regional approach was key to the bill's passage.
I think so, because once it was regional and we all were on the same time frame, we all know the wage is inadequate. We all see the social consequences of poverty. It wasn't like we had to debate, like, is it okay for poverty to go on like this forever? We all felt we needed to do something.
The bill signing precedes action by the state. Delegate Tom Hucker says he hopes this move will provide momentum for similar legislation during the General Assembly session in 2014.
Yeah, there's been a minimum wage bill almost every year. It always goes down in defeat, unfortunately. But, having Montgomery step out like this and be the first county in the state to raise the minimum wage, having Prince George's follow our lead right after that, having our friends in D.C. do the same thing, I think will take a lot of the wind out of the sails of the opposition.
Thank you all for all the work you did.
In Rockville, I'm Susan Kennedy for County Report This Week.
Following the historic minimum wage bill signing came mixed reactions from Montgomery County business owners. My MC Media's Valerie Bonk joins us with more on what locals are saying about the increase. Valerie?
The eyes of the nation are on Montgomery County, which is leading the way when it comes to raising the minimum wage. But for county businesses, the new law raises some questions.
I will probably be raising prices and wages in order to maintain a high quality standard.
We have an economy where everybody's trying to raise or increase their cost. This is obviously a part of it, considering how you budget for future years.
The County Council's decision to increase the minimum wage has been greeted with both praise and hesitation.
I'm skeptical. I'm concerned that it could be too much too fast, even though they did decide to roll it out over 4 years instead of 3.
Officials at the county level say the increase reaches those who need it most.
The reality is that very few small businesses are actually paying the minimum wage. When you look at the data that we have, there's about 70,000 jobs out of 655,000 in Montgomery County that are even below $11.50, much less $7.25.
But even those paying above the minimum wage say the hike will force them to make changes to adapt.
We have to maintain our price structure in order to be competitive, and we have to think about that in as much as, and that then to complete the work at the lowest cost.
As Prince George's County and the District of Columbia follow the county's lead, Others are looking to make their own decisions.
We want to get it all on the table and see where the right level might be. I mean, if you look at where the minimum wage has been historically in inflation-adjusted dollars, it may need to be raised, but maybe not quite as much.
For County Report this week, I'm Valerie Bonk.
County Executive Ike Leggett visited the United Nations in New York City this week. The executive was invited to participate in a leadership dialogue on accelerating action towards sustainable urbanization. Leggett spoke as part of a panel to private sector, urban, and United Nations leaders intended to provide a high-level platform for an exchange of critical thinking, insights, and innovations. The panel is part of UN Habitats for a Better Urban Future effort designed to feed ideas into next year's UN World Urban Forum in Colombia. Montgomery County Council President Craig Rice met with members of the media this week at his first briefing since being elected president of the council. Rice told reporters that he plans to hold regular briefings, and then he shared some of his goals and objectives for the upcoming year. Specifically, he mentioned his support for small businesses and the farming community. He also stressed the importance of outreach.
I've actually already taken a meeting with a few members of the Prince George's County delegation. I'll be meeting with some stakeholders in D.C. To make sure that we're trying to bring this regional effort full circle. You saw the success that we had in being able to work on the minimum wage bill and working together as a regional coalition, and I think that that's something that not only needs to continue but needs to grow. I've had some talks with folks that are representing Frederick County as well as Howard County. We will be meeting. We do have MACO, the Maryland Association of Counties conference that's happening starting this Wednesday through Friday, and I'll be actively meeting with members of all of those different delegations, as well as with our General Assembly delegation about some of the priorities that are at the forefront for us here in Montgomery County.
After serving the residents of District 5 as a member of the County Council for the past 7 years, Valerie Ervin has announced she will be leaving public office next month to become Executive Director of the Center for Working Families. Ervin announced her plans at a recent press conference where she was joined by community leaders who were there to thank her for her service to the county. Ervin says this new position will enable her to have a greater impact on the issues she cares about most.
And I want to continue to make a difference in a new way. I have been enlisted to work on issues like raising the minimum wage, the growing student loan debt that is now in the trillions of dollars, second only to mortgage debt, criminal justice, and other issues that impact the lives of working families. My 2 terms here on the County Council has been a journey of discovery. I have always spoken out on issues that are often swept under the rug. I spoke this truth the only way that I know how, by being true to myself. My approach hasn't always made other people feel comfortable. However, I didn't run for office to seek comfort. I ran to serve the people of the 5th District and to work on issues that were most important to county residents.
Ervin's departure from the council will be January 3rd. Later in the month, the council will appoint her successor for the remainder of her term, which ends on December 1st, 2014. When we come back, Executive Leggett names a new fire chief. We'll tell you who that is. And soon, there will be an easier way to access the MARC train. We'll be right back.
Did you know there are more than 10,000 county government phone numbers? But there's only one number you need to remember for non-emergency calls, 311. MC311 is Montgomery County government's online telephone information system. Need information? Have a problem or complaint? Trying to locate a county government facility? Call 311. The call center is open Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. The website is available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Are you sure they can recycle us, Clamshell?
Hey, Dome, we're on a new recycling postcard.
I can't wait to make a new start. Maybe I'll be a red carpet at a big premiere.
And I'll get to paint the White House.
Shh, here he comes.
Now you can recycle more plastics in Montgomery County, including #1 PET plastics such as clamshells, deli containers, trays, lids, domes, and cups.
We're in!
For more information on recycling, contact the Montgomery County, Maryland Division of Solid Waste Services at 311. The wait is over. Recycle more plastics today.
Welcome back to County Report This Week. I'm Lorna Virgilí. Executive Ike Leggett has named current interim fire chief Steve Lohr as the county's new fire chief to manage and oversee a $218 million budget. Prior to his appointment, Lohr was chief of operations since 2008, supervising 9 assistant chiefs, 26 battalion chiefs, and more than 1,100 uniformed firefighters and civilian staff. Chief Lohr is a graduate of the University of Maryland, and he has been serving as acting fire chief since the retirement of his predecessor, Chief Bowers. And his appointment will be effective upon County Council approval. The county recently launched a Heads Up in Parking Lots campaign, and here's Tom Polk from the county's Department of Transportation with an update on this pedestrian safety campaign. Tom?
Hi, I'm Tom Pogue, Community Relations Manager for the Department of Transportation. Here's an update from Montgomery County. Last year, nearly 1/3 of all pedestrian collisions in the county occurred in parking lots or garages. That's the message County Executive Leggett recently gave at a press event to kick off an expansion of his pedestrian safety initiative to include parking lots. He also noted that, surprisingly, nearly 20% of these collisions resulted in severe injuries, the same percentage as road collisions. To find ways to bring safety messages to drivers and pedestrians in parking lots, the county has partnered with retail property owners to launch an education campaign. The effort is timed for this holiday season. More people out shopping typically results in a spike in pedestrian collisions. The campaign slogan is Heads Up in Parking Lots and features the message, "Don't run over people, don't get run over." The campaign includes bus and shelter ads, posters and safety tip cards, reusable shopping bags with a safety message, and pavement decals at retail lots. For more information, go to montgomerycountymd.gov/walk. We're working to keep you moving safely.
The county's Ride-On bus service will be adding a new service on January 13th, 2014. Ride-On will be offering a new Route 94 called Meet the MARC. This bus service will run during rush hours between Clarksburg and the Germantown MARC train station. In addition, Ride-On will offer an extension of its Route 83 bus to provide service to the new Holy Cross Hospital in Germantown when it opens in late 2014. The bus's schedule will appear on the Ride-On website once it becomes available. When we come back, we talk with the head of the Department of Economic Development and find out their priorities for 2014. And Montgomery College opens doors to new welcome centers. We'll be right back.
This message brought to you by FEMA. Home fires occur most often in winter. Keep anything that can catch fire at least 3 feet from heating equipment. And never use an oven to heat your home. Stay in the kitchen when frying, grilling, or broiling food. Turn space heaters off when you leave the room or go to bed. Make sure all vents are clear of snow and ice to allow carbon monoxide to vent outside. Have your furnace, heating system, and chimneys serviced each year by a qualified professional. Learn more at www.usfa.fema.gov.
Welcome back to County Report This Week. I'm Lorna Virgilí. It's nearing the end of the year, and it's time to start looking ahead at what's to come in terms of county projects. Economic Development Director Steve Silverman says the most important element on his agenda is the approval of the White Oak Master Plan.
I think the number one priority that this department and the county executive has is the passage of the White Oak Science Gateway Master Plan. That will be an opportunity to have a revitalization of the eastern portion of the county, a tremendous amount of job creation around Life Science Village, a 300-acre public-private partnership with us and Perconti, right at the gates of the Food and Drug Administration, a real opportunity to create an area with thousands of jobs as well as residences, all focused on life science. That's going to be a key priority of this department and the county executive in the upcoming year.
Recent visitors to Montgomery College campuses might have noticed some new signs directing them to welcome centers. MC's Michael Brown has a story.
Montgomery College Welcome Centers are now open, serving as a principal access point for students, prospective students, and visitors alike.
The Welcome Centers were developed to provide a welcoming environment for students, community members, pretty much anyone on campus, to provide them with general information about the college, locations, events, and then also to serve as as close to a one-stop for the enrollment process. Students are getting their questions answered. It really warms me when I came into the office yesterday and I had an email from a student who had been at the Rockville Campus Welcome Center, and she really just wanted to express her gratitude at the staff for taking time to not just answer the question, but try to teach her a little bit about the enrollment process. So I'm very pleased. Things are going great. We still are looking at expanding our scope of practice over the next several months to come. Also, as we get ready to onboard our Tacoma Park Silver Spring Welcome Center. We're hoping to be up and running there hopefully by fall of 2014. Right now, a student can get a lot of information at the Welcome Centers, but they're not necessarily submitting documents to the Welcome Center, so we're slowly but surely working with the other campus departments to figure out what makes sense for a student to do in the Welcome Center and at what point they really do need to go over to the financial aid office. We're hoping by the end of this month or early next month for the Welcome Centers to have a weekly standing tour for prospective students. So slowly but surely, we're going to get up and running to our full capacity.
For County Report This Week at Montgomery College, I'm Michael Brown.
Imagine growing up the daughter of a spy who was living undercover overseas. That's the true life story of a local author who recently headlined the Friends of the Library Literary Luncheon. My MC Media's Sonia Burke reports.
The book is basically the story of what it's like to grow up as the daughter of a spy, and it's the story of me, the girl, and of a man, the father I adored.
There was a large crowd for the Friends of the Library's Literary Luncheon, where author Sarah Tabor read passages from her book and answered questions from the audience about her life as the daughter of a covert CIA operative.
It was an exotic childhood. I grew up moving from country to country, following my father's clandestine postings.
It took her 8 years to write this book. She described her family life at that time as glamorous, but full of secrecy and diplomacy.
I didn't have a clue my father was a spy for most of my childhood, but now and then there were just discernible hints of my father's secret work.
Audience members were on the edge of their seats as she shared one thriller-like scene from her book.
Feeling my mother's haste and terror in my own body, I couldn't close my eyes.
I thought it was fabulous, one of the most interesting I've ever heard. I can't wait to read the book.
I can't believe that someone actually led such an amazing life, all covertly.
It was great. Again, that question of the damage that secrets does to a life.
I love meeting my readers, of course. You know, you scribble away in the dark. You have no idea if what you're saying will make sense to anyone. And just to know that your words have moved someone is the best thing that a writer can receive, really.
For County Report This Week, I'm Sonia Burke.
When we come back, parts of the city of Rockville have become the stage for the filming of a new Hollywood movie. And we'll give you a tour of the Garden of Lights at Brookeside Gardens.
Now's a great time to register for Montgomery College's spring semester classes to make sure you get the classes you want when you want them. Choose courses from more than 130 majors and programs offered at our campus locations and online. You can register today online or at any of our 3 campuses. With winter weather on the way, now's the time to sign up for MC Alert. Receive college closing, delay, and emergency information via text message and email. The service also sends important information about Montgomery County weather and traffic events. Come out and support your Montgomery College Raptors. Men's and women's basketball seasons have just started, so make plans now to root them on. Schedules are posted online at montgomerycollege.edu/athletics, and you can follow the teams on social media for the latest news.
Welcome back to County Report this week. I'm Lorna Virgilí. It's been raining and snowing on the set of a new movie that is shooting on location this month in Montgomery County. But the weather has not dampened the enthusiasm of the cast and crew. The independent film is called A Year and Change. My MC Media's Sonia Burke joins us with more. Sonia?
Lorna, I've never been on a movie set before, so this has been an interesting experience. The movie, as you said, it's called A Year and Change, and it's being shot entirely in Maryland. As it rains, the cast and crew find shelter under umbrellas and portable canopies.
And action!
The historic Rockville Cemetery serves as the setting for 2 pivotal scenes in the indie film, and the wet weather just accents the setting's somber tone. Actor Brian Greenberg plays the film's main character, a guy named Owen, who's a vending machine operator.
So it's just about a year in this guy's life of slowly healing, slowly figuring it out, and reconnecting with his family and finding love. And it's a really beautiful story.
Rounding out the cast, Australian actress Claire Vanderbloom, Jamie Chung, T.R. Knight, Kat Foster, as well as many local extras. The film's producer said Montgomery County has a starring role too.
We are really taking over Montgomery County. It's really becoming sort of like the extra character in this movie. We kind of want to do for Montgomery County what Zach Braff did for New Jersey in Garden State.
Yeah, it's great. I was a big fan of shooting here on location, especially in the winter time.
In 18 days, I think we're going to something like 30 different places. So, and a large chunk of them are here, right here in Montgomery County.
The film's director grew up in Montgomery County and graduated from Wooten High, so he's familiar with many of the film's locations.
I'm just really excited to be able to work with the amazing crew and these really talented actors for this short period of time here in December in Montgomery County and in Maryland.
We're aiming for sort of like submitting to Toronto in September 2014. Hopefully that could be our launch pad, or Sundance 2015. So by the time this movie hits theaters, it will be probably sometime in 2015.
You can find out more about the movie on its Facebook page. For County Report This Week, I'm Sonia Burke.
Every week we bring you a pet that needs adoption in our Pet of the Week segment, and here's Kathleen Stanhope from the Humane Society with a male bunny named Fluffy.
This is Kathy Stanhope with your Pet of the Week at the Montgomery County Humane Society, and this very wonderful rabbit is Fluffy. What else would you name a rabbit but Fluffy? But he's actually more sleek than Fluffy. He actually, to me, looks like he's in chinchilla. He's chinchilla color, and he's just as sleek and smooth as the chinchilla is. He is a very good, very handsome rabbit. He's just about a year old. And as you can see, he's very calm. And rabbits make wonderful pets. They can be litter box trained, and I'm actually told that Fluffy appears to be litter box trained. So he can be let out of the cage, but you do have to supervise him. Rabbits tend to to chew on things. Not big things, but they seem to specialize in electric wires, which is very bad for you and can be very bad for the rabbit. And they might like to chew on your molding. So you have to watch them. But they do make wonderful, wonderful pets. And if you have like an elderly person or someone who's not particularly moving around a lot, rabbits are wonderful to just put on your lap while you're watching TV. They make wonderful, nice pets. They're fun to have around. So give us a call at 240-773-5960 or visit us on the web at mchumane.org. We have every type of animal you ever want to think about adopting, and we'll be happy to find the permanent one to go in your home so you can have someone to love.
If you have not visited Brookeside Gardens yet, it is time that you catch a glimpse of the beautiful holiday Garden of Lights.
If you have been to the Garden of Lights before, then you know that this is a wildly popular event. Visitors will enjoy walking through the gardens with close to 1 million colorful lights, all shaped in imaginative displays, everything ranging from giant flowers to animals, an 11-foot giraffe. We even have a mythical sea monster that we call Nessie. We get on average between 40 and 50,000 visitors each winter. So if you'd like to avoid some long lines and maximize your visit, I've got some tips for you. Tip number 1, come early. The gates officially open at 5:30, so be on time. My second tip is come during the week when the admission price is a little bit lower. Normally, the weekend price is $25 per carload of people, but during the week, the price goes down to $20, and the lines definitely aren't as long. And then finally, my third tip, if you'd like to really save some time, you can enjoy a light dinner here at the Garden of Lights. Our concessionaire will be selling soups, sandwiches, chilies, hot cocoa, coffee, tea, and of course some sweets. So come to the Garden of Lights and enjoy all that we have to offer. Please check our website for details at www.brookesidegardens.org.
Montgomery County is home to hundreds of corporations and businesses with national recognition. Recently, Susan Kennedy paid a visit to one of those businesses that's located in Bethesda, and she found out it is hitting all the right notes.
Dalton Potter's love of music grabbed him at a young age.
My mom decided that the choir program at the National Cathedral was a good thing.
After that, he never thought about anything but music.
So what this is a cello bow. The cello is the tenor. This is the hair that we use to stimulate the strings.
In 1996, he started Potter's Violins, and the rest is history.
The fact is that the violin business is a very specific trade that has very specific skills that can't be easily duplicated. The learning curve for my employees is really, really long. It's not something you can just hire somebody to work for the summer and they take off. No, I'm very humbled by how many people around the country depend on us as their kind of home shop. Even when they move to other parts of the country, when they come back to visit, they have us adjust their instruments, or maybe they'll bring something and they want to upgrade it and trade it in, go to the next step.
The violins that are crafted at Potter's Bethesda shop are created from scratch.
Generally, making an instrument from scratch, like the parts that you see on my bench here, if that's all I did, I could make one in a month pretty easily.
It's all handcrafted. Each instrument takes weeks of precise workmanship by one of the 4 luthiers who work at Potter's. Dalton Potter is humble about his success, giving credit to his staff and the personal attention that's given to each of their clients.
There's a lady in Northern Virginia to have something made for her as a custom instrument. He's actually coming in today to get it adjusted. I think that really what it comes down to is that people are hungry for genuineness. And the music world is a very small one, and people talk, and the word of mouth spreads when you find somebody you really like. Basically, I have the very best staff that I think that you can assemble in this country.
Though budgets for music programs in our schools have been cut across the country, Potter says he considers this the golden age of violin making. He attributes that to the Suzuki method of teaching, which has enabled many children to play music to a high standard. Dalton Potter grew up in a family of teachers where the awareness of students whose educations were compromised by their lack of resources was something that affected him. Today, he donates several instruments each year to students who express a commitment to the instrument.
On that note, we close this edition of County Report this week. We also would like for you to like us on Facebook. And we remind you that the county offers sober rights services over the holidays. Call this number if you had one too many during the celebrations. Join us again at this time every week for a look at what's going on inside Montgomery County. I'm Lorna Virgilí, and thank you for watching.